Introduction. A history buried in silence. Hello, listeners. Today, we embark on a journey through one of the most painful chapters in Pakistan's history, the fall of East Pakistan in 1971. This wasn't just a military defeat. It was a national tragedy that reshaped South Asia and left scars that still linger. At the heart of this crisis lies the Hamoodur Rahman Commission Report, a document that remained classified for nearly 3 decades. It exposed the failures of political leadership, military incompetence, and the brutal suppression of Bengali aspirations. But even today, its lessons remain unheeded, as Pakistan continues to grapple with governance issues eerily similar to those of 1971. So, let's go back in time and uncover the truth that was buried for years. Setting the scene, the ticking time bomb. By the late 1960s, tensions between East and West Pakistan had reached a boiling point. Though East Pakistan had a larger population, political power was concentrated in the western wing. Economic disparities fueled resentment, and cultural differences widened the gap. Then came the 1970 general elections, in which Sheikh Hamoodur Rahman's Awami League secured a landslide victory in East Pakistan. Under democratic principles, he should have been allowed to form the government. But power-hungry leaders in West Pakistan, including President Yahya Khan and Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, refused to accept the results. This political deadlock pushed Pakistan to the brink of disaster. And then, on March 25, 1971, the final nail in the coffin, Operation Searchlight, was launched. The breaking point, a nation's worst nightmare. Now, let's talk about Operation Searchlight, one of the darkest moments in Pakistan's history. On that fateful night, the Pakistani military initiated a brutal crackdown on political activists, students, and civilians in Dhaka and other cities of East Pakistan. What was meant to be a show of force quickly spiraled into a massacre. Reports emerged of mass killings, widespread rapes, and destruction. Instead of suppressing the rebellion, this military action only strengthened the call for Bangladesh's independence. Within months, India intervened. A full-scale war erupted, and on December 16, 1971, General A.A.K. Niazi surrendered to the Indian Army in Dhaka. Pakistan was broken. The aftermath, seeking answers. After such a devastating loss, Pakistan needed introspection. In December 1971, the newly installed government under Zulfikar Ali Bhutto formed the Hamoodur Rahman Commission to investigate what went wrong. Led by Chief Justice Hamoodur Rahman, the commission conducted detailed inquiries, gathered testimonies from military officers, and documented one of the most shocking reports in the country's history. Key findings. The truth comes out. Now, what exactly did the Hamoodur Rahman Commission reveal? Here are the 4 biggest takeaways. Military failures. The Pakistani military was unprepared for the conflict. General A.A.K. Niazi's leadership was called incompetent, with poor decision-making and weak strategy. Troops were overconfident, disorganized, and unable to counter India's superior military planning. Political blunders. The refusal to transfer power to the elected representatives of East Pakistan was a fatal mistake. Yahya Khan's government stalled negotiations and dismissed political solutions, fueling the rebellion. Human rights violations. The report confirmed massive atrocities committed by Pakistani forces. Indiscriminate killings, rapes, and suppression of civilians were documented. These actions not only alienated the Bengali population, but also damaged Pakistan's global reputation. Leadership failures. General Yahya Khan's government was held responsible for poor governance and a lack of urgency in addressing the crisis. The military command was divided, And instead of preventing war, their miscalculations accelerated Pakistan's defeat. The cover-up. Why was the report buried? With such explosive findings, you might wonder, why didn't Pakistan act on them? The answer is simple: fear and self-preservation. The report implicated top military officials and exposed the army's misconduct, making it too sensitive to release. Instead of learning from history, successive governments chose to suppress it. For nearly 30 years, the report remained hidden. It wasn't until 2000, after parts of it were leaked, that the public finally got a glimpse of the truth. Lessons that still matter today. Now, this is where things get interesting. The recommendations of the Hamoodur Rahman Commission weren't just meant for 1971, they still apply to Pakistan today. The report called for accountability, institutional reform, and greater political inclusion. But here's the hard truth. Have we truly learned from our past? Look at Pakistan today. Political instability is still rampant. The military continues to exert influence over politics. Human rights abuses persist, especially in regions demanding greater autonomy. Doesn't this sound familiar? The same factors that led to the fall of East Pakistan are still at play. If we fail to address them, history might repeat itself, not through another territorial loss, but through deepening internal chaos. Finally, I have to mention the road ahead. So, where does Pakistan go from here? The lessons of 1971 should not be buried. Pakistan must embrace transparency, hold those in power accountable, and prioritize governance over military dominance. Only then can the wounds of the past truly heal. History is not meant to be forgotten. It is meant to guide us toward a better future. And if Pakistan wishes to avoid another catastrophe, the time for change is now. Closing thoughts. Thank you for joining me today on this deep dive into the Hamoodur Rahman Commission Report and its haunting relevance. If you found this episode insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with others. Let's continue learning from history, because only by confronting the past can we build a stronger, more just future. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged.